You know, it's that time of year. Kids are home sick from school. Your co-workers start calling out one by one. Now the flu season is at its peak.
It is. In fact, according to the CDC, widespread activity reported in 35 states now. There are 7 confirmed deaths in California. Illinois' Department of Public Health reports 10 deaths in that state. And in Texas, specifically Dallas County, there have been as many as 26 deaths.
It can be frightening. Well, the H1N1 strain is most prevalent this season. And here with the flu facts that you need to know is Dr. Keri Peterson. Keri, good morning.
Keri.
Good morning.
Why is it that this flu in particular, we're seeing it's hitting harder younger people and middle-aged people rather than the elderly and the very young?
The reason is that the H1N1 is the predominant strain we're seeing this year. About 98% of cases are the H1N1. And it more commonly hits younger and middle-aged people rather than the elderly. The reason for this is that if you were born before 1957, there was a similar strain to the H1N1. So those people may have some protective immunity already because they were exposed to something similar.
I think people watching at home are going to hear H1N1 and think of swine flu from just a couple of years ago. Is it different than that? Because that was a pandemic.
Yeah.
It's the same exact strain as 2009. The reason we're not as concerned about it is that it is in the vaccine this year.
And
Whereas in 2009 it was not.
Yeah.
Speaking of the vaccine, there is that flu shot. Is it too late to get that to be protected now?
Absolutely not. It is not too late to get the flu shot. I would say it's a call to action to get the flu shot for anyone of 6 months of age and older. If you haven't already, get it.
Are there people who should not get the flu shot, though? I know people who have egg allergies sometimes say, oh, I don't get the flu shot because I think that I may have a reaction.
The contraindications are not egg allergies anymore. There's a recombinant vaccine that's available for people who have egg allergies. There's several available. There's one that's a nasal spray if you're afraid of shots. There's a high dose for the elderly. But the absolute contraindication is if you've had a severe allergic reaction to it in the past. Other than that, there may be a shot for you.
You mentioned, Keri, the nasal spray. Sometimes they give you the choice at the doctor's office. Do you like one better than the other? Does it matter?
If you look at studies, the nasal spray is a live virus. So not everyone can get it. It's only indicated for ages 2 through 49 years of age, whereas the shot is a dead virus. So there are some people that are not candidates for the nasal spray, but if you fall into the appropriate categories, it's definitely an option.
Every year, Keri, they have to kind of figure out what the cocktail is going to be to fight the flu. In your opinion, have they gotten the cocktail right this year to fight this prevalent H1N1?
Yes, they have. So it is in the vaccine this year, and even though last year there were not that many cases of H1N1, this year it is overwhelmingly the predominant strain. It is in the vaccine, along with another type A strain and a type B strain. There's one shot that has 3 strains in it, and there's one shot that has 4 strains in it, 2 A's and 2 B's.
Now, if you've had the flu already this season, but yet did not get the flu shot, is it advisable to go in now and still get the flu shot as well? Can you still get the flu?
So that's a great question. Many people think I got the flu, I don't need it, but you don't know necessarily which strain you had, and you're still susceptible to the others. So you should still get the flu shot, but wait until you're better.
Right.
If you're laid up in bed, Keri, you're feeling terrible, you've got all those symptoms we talk about with the flu, at what point do you need to go see a doctor?
All right, this is very, very important. There are certain groups of people that are at risk of complications of the flu, and these people need to call their doctor immediately. It's a large group. You can find it on the CDC, but to name a few: kids under 2 years of age, adults over 65, pregnant women, people who are immunocompromised, lung disease with asthma, diabetes, heart disease, obese, and Alaskan and Native Indians are at high risk of complications. They have to call their doctor right away.
So if you feel it coming on, call the doctor.
Correct,
Okay.
and it does come on fast and furious, so you probably will suspect it. I mean, within 3 to 6 hours, you get high fevers, headaches, severe body aches, cough, sore throat. It feels like you've been hit by a truck.
And with many of these cases we've seen, unfortunately, they end up in the hospital or often fatal cases.
That is a potential complication.
Perhaps not related, Keri, but the FDA has a new recommendation about acetaminophen. What is that?
Correct. So the FDA just released recommendations to physicians to not prescribe combination medication that contains more than 325 milligrams of acetaminophen. There are some combination pain relievers that have higher doses than that. The reason for this is that it's been found to be linked to fatal cases of liver disease, liver damage, liver failure, and even death. Nearly half of all cases of liver failure are now attributed to the inadvertent overdose of these prescription medications.
Over the counter, the acetaminophen we're taking is usually about 200 milligrams or so.
Over the counter, it's usually 325, but it also does come in a 500 milligram dose. So you always take it as directed on the package and never combine it with alcohol.
All right. Great information.
Yeah.
Dr. Keri Peterson, thanks so
Thanks,
much.
Keri.
Thank you.